said they don't have a story. How to proceed?
Well, I mean, first of all, I don't believe in getting into an argument and fighting about it, because then you're going to just, turn them away even more. But I would push back by asking it again, because look.
Yeah, there's a story. You can't just have an opinion without any information. What's the information that caused you to think that?
Yeah, I mean, we know something's hot because either we got burned by it or our parent told us don't touch it, it's hot. And they told it to us loud enough that we were scared to touch a hot pan, right? So, they have a story behind it, and I would just simply say, well, you have this negative feeling towards a whole business model. Either you had a bad experience with it, or somebody told you it was bad. Which is it? I just ask them.
Yeah.
And help them unpack it. Help them unpack it.
Yeah.
I love the conversation, and here's the thing, guys. One thing I learned dealing with an objection. If you guys are looking at me right now, I don't want to talk at somebody or talk in a debate with somebody. Even if it's on the phone or even if it's on Zoom, I want to almost kind of come around and put my arm over their shoulder and have a conversation with them. If it's not like you're trying to prove that they're wrong and say that they have a stupid stigma in their head and they're stupid for having it, you can't win that. It's not about win or lose. It's about just helping them unpack whatever that stigma is, where it came from, and helping them to hear some great stories. Again, always the best way to dismantle a bomb or dismantle an objection like that is just kill it with amazing stories.
Love that. Anne, question for you. I can find prospects. George asks, I do presentations, but I cannot close. Can you give me a golden nugget?
Closing, I think we all overthink the closing thing, and this is where we can vomit too much information. The best advice is keep it stupid simple, right? Offering just the information that they need. And I mean, honestly, guys, you want to know what my big close is? It's Eric Voorhees. He's the one that taught me. On a scale of 1 to 10, what is your level of interest? 1 being not that much, or 10 like I'm ready? Because there's always an objection you have to overcome. Statistics show it takes 6 to 7 exposures for a person to make a decision. They may just need more information, right? Or maybe they're afraid. They're afraid of what everybody's going to think. So you kind of have to dig in, figure out what's causing them to not make that decision. But just straight up ask them. Don't be afraid to ask them for the close. And so many times we do, well, I don't want to make you mad. Just get back with me. You have to step in and you have to be confident and ask for the close. Ask them for it, and then ask them what information they need to help them make that decision. You really just want a decision, even if it's a no, because you're going to put them on your no list and you're going to follow up. We all know no doesn't mean no. It means not right now. So you're going to follow up with them. But what's worse than getting a no is leaving them in oblivion, right? You put people in your prospecting funnel and you just leave them there, and then somebody's going to come along and offer the opportunity later and give them the right information. And nothing sucks more than to be hosting an event and have somebody show up that was your prospect that you didn't close the deal with. So get really good at closing, get really good at asking the questions and overcoming objections.
Love it. Brian, Gwendolyn asks, my prospects all know about my product. How do I approach them about business after years of not really mentioning it?
So she's always been just leading with the product and never the opportunity.
Yes.
That's a great opportunity there to just engage in conversation that has nothing to do with business, but listen with a different ear. Maybe you were trying to find your angle to try to sell them your product before in all those conversations. Just a new conversation. Hey, how's it been, Ann? How's everything going? In the last few months with the coronavirus spiking, what's going on? Is that affecting your job? Is it, are you working from home? Just get the conversation going down a different path and listen for problems in their life that your opportunity can solve, not that your product can solve.
Love that. Fraser, do you go back to people who said no to you on social media? If yes, when do you go back to them?
Yeah, so I believe if you can get an objection, you'll get someone in. And this is what I mean by this. So if someone says to me, I don't have the time, I don't have the money, and I'll say, how does that make you feel? And we have a conversation around that. I'll always make a note of that. So let's say Brian says, I have no money. So 2, maybe 3 months later, maybe 2 or 3 months later, I'm going to come to Brian and I'm going to say, hey, Brian, I know we haven't spoke for a few weeks. Just checking in, seeing how you're getting on. Brian replies, and I'll say, Brian, just curious, last time we spoke, money or time was an issue. Is that still the case? So I know last time we spoke, money was an issue. Is that still the case? Now, if Brian says no, it's not the case, then I'm going to say, hey, well, do you want to have a look at what we've got going on here? Because that can't be the same excuse objection this time. If he says, yes, it is, I'm then going to say, well, I'm just curious, do you have a plan to get out of the money trap? Well, I'm just curious, do you have a plan to get out of the time trap? I'm always looking to emotionally connect so that they have, away from my conversation, they're having a conversation with their family, their partner, their spouse, being like, do we need to make some more money? Or do we need to get some more time freedom? All the time, because leaders are seeders. We just got to keep planting those seeds and nurturing them. So yeah, always go back until someone literally says, if you call me again, I'm gonna call the police on you. Because I believe in it that much. I really do.
Hey, Eric, can I add something on that?
Yes, please.
What Fraser said was spot on, and what you can do in the process of that is, whatever the objection is, have a story that you're going to swiftly share that overcomes that objection. So if they say, I just don't have any time. Well, guess what? You just go find a story that's recently happened in your business where this person's working 70 hours a week as a real estate agent, has no time with spouse and kids, and got involved with the business spare time by just throwing up a Zoom presentation, put a bunch of people on it, got the business going super spare time, like didn't take anything away from his profession, and now he's got cash flow coming in part-time on the side. So whatever the objection is, find somebody who had that same objection and overcame it and is succeeding now, and that story is going to sell them.
Love that. I'll open this up on, well, let me ask it this way. Oh, it moved up on me. Hold on. So, Ann, I'll let you answer this one. How do I get over the concern that I've been in my company for 15 years and I still don't have a team? Who will see me as a leader to follow? Barbara asks. You frozen, Ann? Brian, can you answer it?
It needs to be unmuted, I think.
No, she's frozen.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, people have been at a job for 15 years and they're still stuck and still broke, and we're still in a bad situation they don't want to be in. So one of the things, I have a chapter in my book about this. Don't drag your past forward, right? If the last 10 people you signed up didn't do any production in the business and quit, if you keep on focusing on the last 10 people that failed to launch, and you go project that on your 11th person, your next prospect you're trying to turn into a recruit, that person's going to be a failure too, because you're so stuck on what didn't happen with the last 10. Look, I can't speak to Barbara's situation, but I can say this pretty much across the board. Look at the last 15 years. What did you do? What did you not do? But more importantly, who were you or who were you not? Were you getting this kind of information? Were you growing as a person? And then were you taking action? And I think that's the most important thing. Right now is a new life, it's a new business, it's a new you. So now you're growing you, and now you can go, whether you've got an active upline. Look, we all can find something where I used to have great uplines. I haven't had uplines active in the business for 18 years. I could say, well, my upline quit, so guess what? It ain't gonna happen for me now. So Barbara, I would say, hey, look, the fact that you're here, the information that you got this week and what you're going to get at GoPro, just take that, own it, become a different you, and now you're going to attract people in a way that you never were able to attract before. That's what I would look at it.
And thank you, Brian. And Amy asks, here's my block from getting a GoPro ticket. I'm learning so much I need to implement. I'm afraid if I keep learning and not implementing, I'll never get anywhere with my goals. I totally understand that, and I get it. Here's what I will tell you. GoPro will help you organize all of this. It'll put it into a game plan and a strategy. It'll reduce your stress. It'll reduce your anxiety. It'll reduce your fears. It will empower you with the vision and the implementation to be able to take all of this and put it into action. Okay? So I just strongly encourage you, this is not going to add to overwhelm.